Morning, namaste, welcome for Sunday morning words. I heard a very interesting statement about someone speaking about satsangs and how it's a form of hypnosis. Rather than waking people up, it's to put them to sleep for some sort of conspiracy or some sort of taking him into the community and forcing them to move away from their families and their lives to start this new world where they're under hypnosis and they're under the influence of the community or the guru or the teacher or the disciples, whatever. And that's why U.G. Krishnamurti was against gurus, you see, because U.G. Krishnamurti was saying the society is the problem, you see. It's not people that's the problem, it's the identity of this society as being this dominant force that takes the power from each individual and put the power into a word, an identity, a basic thing that does not really exist organically. Society is a name of what no one knows, you see. It's a description of the whole community or the whole group, human force. But it doesn't take each individual serious. I'm part of society, you see, but you're not interested in me. Yes, but we're interested in the whole of society. Yeah, we can't please everyone, you see. Well, don't use this everyone way. Don't try and solve the world of human beings trying to unite everything, you see. We're already united, you see. We're already one whole thing. But anyway, let's speak about what this person had about a problem about being in satsang and how you're hypnotized, you see. Well, it's grossly untrue, you see. The guru's job is to release you from being put to sleep or hypnotized or being awakened. You see, awakening is a simple thing that happens every day of our life. We wake up every day, not regarding sleep, but when we breathe in, we're awake, and when we breathe out, we go to sleep. Life is already a hypnotic experience. Before mind came into play, life is a hypnotic experience. There appears to be a body that moves. These hands are moving, you know. I'm not concentrating on these hands are moving by themselves. So life already is hypnotized and programmed. Consciousness is already programmed into doing what it's supposed to do, you see. The problem is mind. The whole problem is mind. Not the unique mind that creates this movement through consciousness. Consciousness is pure mind. But the mind that thinks it can control, and the fear of anyone going to satsang is the fear of being controlled, you see. The fear of being controlled is the fear of being hypnotized into doing something that I don't want to do. I does not want to do. This beautiful hypnotic world where things move on their own. You know, you pee. You're not thinking about, I have been learned how to pee. Someone has taught me how to pass water. It happens on its own. This is the hypnotic state of life itself, which is a beautiful state where everything flows and dances. A child manages to ride its bicycle without the parents moving its feet for it, telling its hands. The child has to go on the bicycle on its own. Its legs are moving in sync with the pedals. The child is balancing on its own. The child has not been hypnotized, but it is being hypnotized the moment the parent or the teacher or the brother or sister says, don't do it like that, do it like this. Consciousness in its pure state is hypnotic. Everything is taking place on its own. Everything is moving on its own. Everything is programmed, as U.G. Krishnamurti says, on its own. There is no programmer. It is a piece of magic that happens. And when no mind interferes by trying to be the controller or the hypnotist, then everything is absolutely, perfectly, beautifully balanced as it is. So what is the fear of going to satsang, you see? The fear of being either put to sleep or the fear of being wakened up again. Because the guru releases you from wakefulness, from awakening, which is apparently the in thing, and sleep, which is what gurus say as you're hypnotized. Every moment of every day, you're waking up and going to sleep. Your mind is the hypnotist when it has been given the title of the hypnotist. This hypnotist is the pretend teacher. Everything that exists outside of you, human form, every kind of form, every space, is the teacher, the fake hypnotist. What does that mean, you see? What does that mean? The fake hypnotist. Like I say, let's look at it in two ways. Life is already a hypnotic, magical experience. When you get up in the morning, if you had no mind, if you didn't know your name, who you were, you had some sort of amnesia attack, you would be able to go on and walk and pee and eat and enjoy the life that it is. Only thing is, you cannot associate with people, you cannot know people, you cannot identify anything because you have amnesia. The mind has gone, you see. But you have no problem. An amnesia, someone with no mind has no problem. Yeah, it doesn't relate. It doesn't associate, attach, and go through the hypnotic program which has been introduced by the new teachers, the ego mind. The ego mind, what is hypnosis? What is hypnosis? Look at the second situation is this fake hypnosis, this planned, controlled hypnosis. What is planned and controlled hypnosis? When you go to the hypnotist at the theater, he says, sleep. But he doesn't say sleep. He puts you to sleep and tells you what is going to take place at the same time. So he's kind of removing mind, making a space for mind to implement something new for you to do with no mind. Like you have amnesia. And you do it, and you wake up. What did you do, he says. I don't remember. Then they play the video back and you're, oh my God, you're gobsmacked. I didn't do that. Yes. Were you aware you were doing it, says the magician. No. Did it disturb you while you were doing it? No, because I didn't know I was doing it. So the magician has put you to sleep and conditioned or gave you something to do that is not natural. It is not natural because it's not in the hypnosis of life. It is some other form of mind explaining to mind how to do things. To do it like this. At school, the child goes into the class, the teacher says, "Who knows the 10 times table?" No one. Never heard of it before. Right, we're going to learn the 10 times table today, children. Yeah? Teacher goes through the process of hypnotizing the child into learning the 10 times table. Every moment of every day, we are being hypnotized by each other because mind continues to hypnotize each other and wake each other up constantly. Teacher says, "Children, listen. 10 times 1, 10 times 2, 10 times 3, 10 times 4, 10 times 5, sleep, 10 times 6, 10 times 7, 10 times 8, 9, 10 times 10, 10 times 11, 10 times 12. Then the teacher wakes the children up. Now, yes. Who can do the 10 times table? Child has been hypnotized. Mind has been hypnotized. It has been giving this learning process. This program has been introduced to its state. It now repeats the 10 times table. A form of hypnosis. Yeah? The children do not voluntarily want to learn the 10 times table. They're told they have to learn the 10 times table. It's going to help you in life. It's going to be the most valuable thing you've ever learned. Yeah? Resuscitation and CPR, forget that. You see, that's not your problem, you see. That's not going to help anyone. You know, you can go through life with a 10 times table for the rest of their life. It matters not if you save another being. You see? That is this speaker's understanding about negativity. The speaker was being negative there. Making preferences, making comparisons. Hypnotized to negativity. You understand this? I'm not here to make preferences. It matters not what the teacher tells the children. It is how the teacher tells the children, how it is conditioned into their mind, as their mind to mind, in a hypnotized way. Hypnotized is the same thing as being hypnotized at the theatre. I want you to do this as well. I put my hand on your shoulder and you sleep. You're going to run around like a chicken. You're going to run around like a chicken. And what happens? Wake. Teacher said at the end of the 10 times table class, "Well done. Good. What's next? Waking up." You have stored this information of 10 times table. You have been hypnotized to the 10 times table. You have been forced into sleep for the 10 times table. You're driving along in your car. A red light appears. The hypnotist appears. Stop. Sleep. Right. Why do you stop at the red light? Because mind says, stop at the red light. Otherwise, you will die or kill someone. Orange, green, wake up, go. The ego mind is a false way of reflecting its job of saying this life is hypnotic. So let's make everything hypnotic. You don't have to make anything else hypnotic. Life is beautifully hypnotic on its own. Every moment of every day when mind says, do that, it's because it has been hypnotized or learned or told to obey. Hypnosis is a form of obeying. But we're speaking human language here. It is the human mind from another conveying and communicating to the human mind of another in a controlling way. We have the teacher. The whole world is the egoistic teacher. I'll show you how to do things. I'm going to hypnotize you. Next thing, the one that is being shown becomes a teacher. No, I'll show you how to do this then. Hypnotized. Waking and hypnotized. Sleep, hypnotized. Dehypnotized, hypnotized. Dehypnotized, hypnotized. Why do so many fear satsangs? The fear of being hypnotized again. But satsangs and proper true gurus do not hypnotize you. They wake you up from hypnotized or asleep or awake. Both are the same, you see. When are you asleep and when are you awake? When you're not obeying mind, when you're simply watching and not trying to make measurements and trying to understand and communicate and learn and condition and obey and do all these things, you are moving from wakefulness to sleep. Fake wakefulness to fake sleep. The guru and the satsang wants to release you from both, to realize that you, the one that now we're speaking, the real you, not the human you within, has never ever been hypnotized, does not understand anything about the 10 times table or the red light, but is in love with the hypnotic beauty and wonder of life. This one never appears to come through. Therefore, you suffer and you say, I am fed up of this life. I keep coming and going and nothing seems to be true and take place, and I'm looking for some purpose and I don't know. That's all mind speaking and thinking about how it wants to escape from the hypnotism of the 10 times table or the red light scenario and wants to be totally awake, but not the awake where there's boredom. If awakening means sitting like Buddha, bored, I don't want that. The ego mind generates a movement that is faster than light. The in-breath, you're awake. The out-breath, you're asleep. You're not permanently asleep, you're not permanently awake, because as soon as you're asleep, the in-breath comes and wakes you up. The middle between the in-breath and the out-breath is the realization that what comes and goes, you're not. You can never be hypnotized, the real you. You can never be under any hypnosis from an external mind or an internal mind. You can only be under the hypnosis of this unbelievable consciousness life that is going on without you. But you're missing it, you see. You're missing it because you won't go to satsang. You won't awaken. You see, awaken, sorry. You won't realize, self-inquire. There are two teachers. there are two teachers. There is the world, and every human being within this world, everything that exists within this external world is trying to teach you. Trying to teach you how to do the 10 times table. Teach you not to go through red lights. Teach you to pay this bill. Teach you to put the fire, how to do this, how to do that, how to do this, how to prepare for that, how to be a good wife, how to be a good husband. Books, 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 hundreds and thousands of books from the reflective teacher. There is only another teacher that exists, and that's you. You don't need to be taught or hypnotized. You don't need to be waking and sleeping every moment of your day. You should be totally aware. And when you are totally aware and released from this wakefulness and sleep that goes on constantly, hypnotize, dehypnotize, hypnotize, dehypnotize, hypnotize, dehypnotize all day. When you're awake or when you're released, you realize that it's okay. I know this one is trying to hypnotize me, but I'm okay with that. I'm not attaching to it. I'm not associating with it. So when someone teaches, an external teacher tries to teach you, the enlightened one, the 10 times table, you go, yeah, cool. And when it's finished, the teacher goes, now you say it. I don't really, I'm not really, you know, I know it, but you know, I can't remember it, you see, you know. It's past. It is past. Of course you know the 10 times table, but you're not really. What service is it going to do you? What service is it going to do this world? Stopping at a red light is going to do a great service in today's human society, because you may cause an accident if you're not hypnotized into obeying the red light. But the fact is, before red lights came in the go, there were no cars in the go, and there were no need to be hypnotized in the go. Everyone walked, you see. We're under hypnosis every single day, so don't think you're going to satsang to be awakened or to put to sleep and be part of a conspiracy. You're going to be released from awakening and sleep. But the only thing that, if you can understand, when you go to sleep at night, there's no one saying, go to sleep. You have to go to sleep. How to go to sleep? Yeah. There's no external mind saying, you must go to sleep. Obey me. You're going to be hypnotized. You are in the hypnotic part of life. Sleep comes on its own. For some have to be hypnotized because their ego mind is so fascinated with being awake and sleep and confused. It needs some sort of music, calming. You don't need music and calming when you have been enlightened by a guru. Now, when I say go to satsang, you see, I don't want to push anyone to go to this external teacher, because the guru in satsang is the external teacher. You don't have to go anywhere. Your satsang is within yourself. Your satsang is the appropriate, proper teacher that knows that this body can work on its own. It needs no rules and regulations. It does not need to be hypnotized. It does not need to be told into doing things. But it's okay, you know, it accepts that. But the one inside is accepting and trusting that hypnosis, awakening, dehypnotized, sleep are the same thing to this one. None of it is true. Everything, it is all an illusion, a dream. Ego mind creates this fantastic dream. You see, some people say, well, without my ego mind, I won't be able to participate with this world. I won't have a name. I won't have I have amnesia. No. Ego mind creates a dream within the dream. At deep sleep at night, suddenly deep sleep goes and the mind is active. The hypnotist is back in, right? You're awake, mind is awake, and sleeping at the same time. So which one is coming through? Deep sleep is a natural thing. So the mind is encroaching on nature at night. You don't waken up and say, oh, I was asleep all night, but I was awake all night because I experienced a dream. You say, I was dreaming whilst in sleep. And you can dream whilst being awake through your mind, wandering to the past and the future. Your inner teacher, your Sadguru, releases you. And you can go to satsang as long as you understand that the one that speaks is not hypnotizing you, your mind, or dehypnotizing your mind. It is throwing away your mind. It is casting your mind to the side. So that you're exposed, fully exposed, naked, dissolved, gone, disappeared. And when you resurface, you'll never experience attachment or association to the red light again. It happens, and you're through it when the green goes. Under the hypnosis that is merged with the hypnotist and the ego, and they've merged together and they've shook hands and created some sort of agreement. Ego says, I admit defeat. Please take me back. I won't force you. I won't force any mind on you again. I won't force myself on you and again. But I will be able to help you get through this life, through the red light, through the 10 times table, through others trying to force you or condition you or hypnotize you. I'll be there in front of you saying, this one is not needing hypnotized. And they won't even know that you're participating or not participating, because they can't see you, because you are much lesser than your body form and mind. When you're released from awakening and sleep, you're released from enlightenment and every state that comes. Nothing can touch you. The body and mind can die or be in pain, but the one inside is free as a bird to fly and float with the beautiful dance of life, this pure hypnotic trance of life that exists without rules and regulations or hypnotists or dehypnotists or gurus or devils or gods or all these things that have been made up by the mind to hypnotize you. U.G. Krishnamurti says it's for a purpose. They hypnotize you into words like society and economics and communism and sectarianism and racism. They hypnotize you to get your money, to control you, like aliens control your mind. It is a form of hypnosis. I don't see it like that, you see. The free one does not see it like that. But I understand that in a human world, UG is spot on. So use UG's words of refusing to question this human world, and then use this one's words to say, once you've refused to question this human world, you question yourself. You question the hypnotist mind. You question the one that is always, always vigilant, watching you, trying to control you. For good or for bad, matters not. None of it is true. When life is the hypnotist everything is absolutely enlightening and peaceful and empty and smooth, with things that go on as usual. When mind, ego, is trying to hypnotize you through trying to conform you, the body and mind conform you, put you here, put you there, tell you to go there, tell you to do that, that is always hypnosis. But you always wake up from that when you go away into the hills and the trees and say, my God, that was a horrible day. Everyone was controlling me today, but now I'm free. See, awake again. But you don't want to be awake, and you don't want to be asleep. You want to be released and free, like a bird. That you already are, but you need your inner teacher to confirm it. Sunday morning words, getting longer and longer. I apologize. Now sleep. Wake. Namaste. Have a good day.